The most dangerous man in any room is not the loud one. It's the man who carries a quiet, crushing weight every single day, and tells nobody. Most ambitious men are living a lie. Not because they are dishonest, but because the world has trained them to wear a mask of absolute competence while their internal world burns down. You wake up, you grind, you build, you take care of business, and everyone around you thinks you've got it all figured out. But at night, when the noise fades and the screen goes black, you know the truth. You feel an overwhelming, silent exhaustion that no amount of sleep can fix. Nobody talks about this because, in our society, an ambitious man showing vulnerability is instantly misread as weakness. But if you keep running on this invisible engine of silent pain, it won't just slow you down. It will eventually destroy your focus, your relationships, and the very success you're sacrificing your life to build. By the end of this video, you will understand the deep psychological root of this hidden pain, why it silently sabotages your progress, and, more importantly, how to convert that buried weight into an unshakable, natural authority that commands respect without saying a word. Let's be honest for a second. You aren't afraid of hard work. You aren't looking for a shortcut or a motivational speech telling you to just keep grinding. You've already proven you can suffer for your goals. You stay late. You carry the weight of expectations from your family, your partner, your team, and worst of all, yourself. The real problem isn't the work. The real problem is isolation within performance. You are surrounded by people, yet completely alone in your mind. If a casual observer looks at your life, they see drive. But psychologically, you are operating in a constant state of hypervigilance. You feel like if you drop the ball even once, the entire structure you built will collapse. The modern ambitious man is trapped in a paradox, expected to be the anchor for everyone else, while having no anchor of his own. This creates a silent psychological debt. And like any debt, the interest accumulates over time. If you don't address it, it manifests as sudden burnout, unexplained anger, unprovoked anxiety, or a complete loss of drive just when you need it most. Don't skip this next part, because understanding the first hidden layer of this pain changes how you view your entire life's trajectory. The first hidden pain every high-achieving man carries is the burden of hyper-responsibility. From an evolutionary standpoint, men evolved to bear burden. Protection, provision, spatial defense. Our neurochemistry rewards us for solving hard problems. But modern society has warped this drive. You've been conditioned to believe that your worth as a man is directly equal to your utility. If you aren't producing, you are useless. If you aren't fixing things, you are failing. Think about the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Writing in his private journals over 2,000 years ago while fighting a war on the Danube, he didn't write about his conquests. He wrote about the overwhelming fatigue of carrying the weight of an empire while surrounded by people who only wanted something from him. He wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Yet I cannot be harmed by any of them." He wasn't bitter. He was isolated by his responsibility. When you take 100% responsibility for everything in your life, you gain extreme power, but you also inherit absolute solitude. You become the person everyone runs to when their world falls apart, but you have no one to run to when yours does. Here is where most men fail. They mistake this isolation for a flaw in their character. They think, I just need to be tougher. So they push the pain deeper, lock their jaw, and keep walking. But suppression isn't strength. It's just delayed destruction. What happens next is even more dangerous, because this hidden burden inevitably transforms into something far more toxic. The second pain is the psychological trap known as a rival fallacy. Let's run a scenario you know all too well. You set a goal. Maybe it's making your first $100,000. Maybe it's hitting a specific physical condition, buying a certain car, or landing a specific role. You tell yourself, once I get there, I can finally relax. Once I reach that level, I'll feel accomplished. You work for months. You sacrifice sleep, relationships, and weekends. You finally hit the mark. And what happens? You feel a brief spike of dopamine for about 48 hours. Then, like clockwork, a cold, empty feeling settles in. The goalpost moves. Suddenly, that milestone feels like the bare minimum, and your brain immediately fixates on the next mountain. This is the endless loop of the ambitious mind. You are constantly living in the future, which means you are perpetually absent from your present. You can never enjoy the life you sacrificed so much to build because you are already stressing over the life you haven't built yet. Psychologically, your brain has associated peace with stagnation. You've conditioned yourself to believe that if you feel content, you're losing your edge. Most men never realize this until it's too late. If you do not learn how to feel fulfilled during the struggle, no level of success will ever fix your internal hunger. You will simply become a rich, successful man who is completely miserable inside. Stay with me, because the next mistake is the exact reason why your personal relationships slowly deteriorate while your career climbs. To succeed in a hyper-competitive world, you have to develop a specific set of psychological tools. You need ruthless focus, emotional control, strategic coldness, and the ability to compartmentalize pain. When you're executing business strategies, managing risk, or grinding through extreme workload, emotional detachment is a superpower. It keeps you rational when everyone else is panicking. The pain begins when you forget how to turn it off. You come home to your family, your partner, or your friends, and you operate with the exact same cold, analytical frame. When your partner comes to you with an emotional problem, you don't offer empathy. You offer a step-by-step diagnostic solution. When someone asks how you're doing, you give a rehearsed status report instead of an authentic response. You have built a steel fortress around your mind to survive the battle of ambition. But that very same fortress keeps out the people trying to love you. Over time, your inner circle begins to feel like strangers. They view you as cold, distant, or unapproachable. You start to feel misunderstood by the very people you are fighting to provide for. You tell yourself, asterisk, they just don't understand what it takes. Asterisk, this is a subtle trap. You aren't being strong. You are being emotionally lazy. True masculine maturity isn't staying locked behind armor 24/7. It's having the strength to take off the armor when you step off the battlefield. Don't skip this next point, because we are about to address the darkest secret of high-performing men, one that almost nobody speaks about publicly. Here is a psychological truth that will change how you look at every successful person you meet. The higher you climb, the louder your self-doubt becomes. Average men assume that high status. Successful men don't feel insecure. They assume that money, power, and muscle kill fear. The exact opposite is true. When you are at the bottom, you have nothing to lose. The stakes are low. But as your status, wealth, and responsibility grow, every decision carries massive consequences. One bad call can destroy a business, ruin your reputation, or crash a life's worth of effort. This creates the hidden pain of high-stakes imposter syndrome. You sit in meetings with senior executives, high-level investors, or elite performers, looking around thinking, asterisk, if these people actually saw my doubts, they'd realize I'm just figuring this out as I go. Asterisk, consider elite military units, Navy SEALs, or Special Forces operators. During selection, the men who drop out aren't always the physically weakest. They are often the ones who panic because they believe everyone else is handling the cold, sleep deprivation, and pain better than they are. They internalize their suffering, assume they are uniquely flawed, and break. The ones who survive realize a fundamental rule of human psychology. Everyone is hurting just as much as you are. Some people are just better at mastering their face. The moment you realize that your doubt is not a sign of incompetence, but a natural side effect of high responsibility, the doubt loses its power over you. Almost nobody notices this next shift, but it is the exact point where average ambition turns into toxic self-destruction. How do you motivate yourself? If you're like 95% of ambitious men, your internal monologue sounds like a harsh drill sergeant. Asterisk, you slept too much. Asterisk, asterisk, you aren't working hard enough. Asterisk, asterisk, look at what he accomplished at your age. Asterisk, asterisk, you're getting lazy. Asterisk. 4 years, this negative self-talk worked. It got you out of bed. It drove you to the gym. It made you work when you were exhausted. You built your success by using self-criticism as fuel. Because it brought results, you made a dangerous psychological assumption. You believed that your harshness was the sole reason for your success. Here is the dark truth. Weaponized self-criticism works great in the beginning, but it acts like toxic fuel in a high-performance engine. Eventually, it corrodes the motor. When your primary driver is self-disgust or the fear of being average, you can never experience genuine confidence. You become addicted to self-flagellation. Even when you win, your brain skips celebration and goes straight to dissecting your mistakes. Respected, powerful men do not run on self-contempt. They run on duty and standards. They don't push themselves because they hate who they are. They push themselves because they respect their own potential. This brings us to the final, most crucial point, the core lesson that ties everything together. Stay with me because this explains why everything finally clicks. So how do you fix this? How do you take this hidden, heavy pain and transform it into unshakable masculine strength? You don't do it by complaining. You don't do it by dropping your standards, making excuses, or shedding your ambition. You fix it by shifting your psychological framework from bearing pain for yourself to channeling pain for a purpose. The pain you feel, the isolation, the weight of responsibility, the constant internal pressure, isn't a sign that you are broken. It is the cost of entry for building a life of consequence. Pain is raw emotional energy. Average men let that energy turn inward into resentment, depression, and addiction. Exceptional men take that exact same energy and forge it into discipline, clarity, and presence. Here are the 3 fundamental shifts you must make today. First, reframe responsibility as a privilege. Stop telling yourself, asterisk, I have to carry everything. Asterisk, start telling yourself, asterisk, I am the kind of man capable of carrying this. Asterisk, the weight didn't change, but your posture did. Second, build an inner sanctuary. You must have spaces in your life where you are not performing. Whether it is 30 minutes of quiet morning reflection, brutal physical training where your phone is turned off, or a trusted circle of high-caliber men who hold you accountable, you need a place to release the pressure valve so you don't explode on the people you love. Third, shift from self-validation to mission focus. The moment you stop asking, asterisk, am I doing enough to be respected? Asterisk, and start asking, asterisk, is my work serving the mission I set out to achieve? Asterisk, your internal doubt evaporates. Real authority doesn't come from demanding respect. It comes from being so grounded in your purpose that external validation becomes irrelevant. The pain every ambitious man hides isn't proof that you are failing. It is proof that you are alive, that you care, and that you are fighting for something bigger than comfort. Stop running from the weight. Stop pretending it isn't there. Frame it, carry it with dignity, and let it build a character that cannot be broken by circumstance. Take a look at your life right now. Identify the one area where you've been running on negative fuel, and choose to step back into purpose today. If you want to become the kind of man who naturally commands respect, not through loudness, but through internal strength, discipline, and emotional mastery, hit the subscribe button right now. Every single week, we break down the high-level psychology of confidence, status, and self-improvement so you can build a life of genuine power. Carry the weight. Own the path. I'll see you in the next video.